Hey everyone, this is me, Retro Tetris. Welcome to my second album review. Today I'd like to talk about my favorite album of the entire grunge era of the 90s. This is the one and only Dirt by Alice in Chains, produced by Dave Jordan and released on September 29th, 1992. In early 1992, Alice in Chains began recording music for what would become their most successful album to be released. Many of the members struggled with drug abuse during the recording, especially Staley, whose addiction is well documented. But beside him, drummer Sean Kinney and bassist Mike Starr both struggle with alcoholism. Not only that, but the entire band was smoking weed during recording sessions. This album was also a step up for Layne regardless of drug addiction or not. He wrote 2 songs all by himself. Those were Hate to Feel and Angry Chair respectively. Talking more about the writing, there are many dark subjects on this album, to the point you could call it a concept album about a place you don't want to end up in. We have songs like Them Bones about mortality, a song like Rooster about war, songs like Rain When I Die and Down in a Hole about girls, even songs like Junkhead, Godsmack and Sickman about drugs, and of course the rest pretty much about depression and more such issues. So mostly the lyrics subjects are really dark, especially compared to Facelift. Now, when it comes to the sound on the album, Scott Ian from Anthrax has described it after all, Dave Jordan produced their record and used the same technique for him. Basically what Jordan did was make Jerry use multiple amps and guitars and play 3 tracks, one in the middle, one for the treble, and one for the bass. This ended up being 6 tracks, 3 on the left and 3 on the right, so you get this huge and atmospheric guitar sound. Along with that, you have multi-tracked vocals, both Layne and Jerry, and sometimes multiple harmonies at once. The bass often uses a flanger and sounds just nice enough in the mix, and the drums, of course, sound amazing. Finally, the album cover, which was photographed by Rocky Schenk. The model was Mariah O'Brien, who coincidentally looked like Layne Staley's fiance at the time, Demi Parrott. Either way, the album cover featured a naked woman buried in dirt, with the Alice in Chains logo on top. Describes the name of the album right, but it's pretty boring to look at in my opinion. Finally, we're here. I get to talk about a few songs I like. As in the previous review, I will talk about 4 of my favorite tracks from the album. As I previously stated, this was a big step up for Layne, where he started writing his own material and even played guitar on this track on the album. This is probably his best known song, Angry Chair, with almost Black Sabbath-esque guitars, which are really gloomy, and switch to a heavy chorus and a more sad bridge. I think the guitar riffing on this song is excellent. I gotta say, I also love the drum groove and Layne Staley's harmonies, that especially in the verses on this track. Only thing I wish is that the bass would be louder, because I've heard it isolated and it sounds so badass mixed with the guitars. But what can I say? This is definitely one of the best songs from the album. How would one describe this song? This is definitely one of the, if not the most underrated Alice in Chains song, at least on this album. It has one of the best guitar riffs, bass grooves, and drum fills that you'll hear. Jerry and Layne's voices gel together so nicely, and Layne belting it in the chorus is honestly heartbreaking, yet it sounds so amazing. But I would have to say the bridge is the best part. I don't know how to say this, but when it comes to Alice in Chains, this is the one must listen to song. It has some of the best bass work by Mike Starr to ever exist, as well as having this cool nasally performance by Layne in the verses, with a dreamy guitar playing over it. But when you get to the chorus, you get Layne belting at amazing notes and screams over a badass guitar riff that moves into an amazing guitar solo. Honestly, the best Alice in Chains song out of many masterpieces. This is that one song that shows a different side of mood and genre, being more calm than the other songs on the album. Lane and Jerry's harmonies throughout the song are especially amazing. I really dig the guitar and bass and drums per usual, and of course Lane belting it out. So overall, while the album doesn't have the best album cover ever, it has one of the most solid tracks ever, and it's all in the right order in my opinion. Honestly, the songs are so fucking perfect. So overall, I would give this album a 9.0 out of 10. It has solid guitars, basses, and drum work as well as obviously the vocals. The band works together so nicely, and it all works into creative songs that are basically amazing throughout. So yeah, I'm Retro Tetris. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out.